Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well, and welcome back. Today we're going to be speaking about used to. Alright, so we're going to speak about two different structures with used to. One that you're probably already familiar with, and maybe the second one as well. But we're going to get into some more details than maybe you've commonly looked at. So the first used to is one that probably most of you use very easily already. And it's this used to with an infinitive. All right, so for example, when I was a child, right, I used to play basketball. So this is something that we use to speak about a routine that we had in the past. So you can never really use this to speak about something that you did once and then never did again. All right, we use this to speak about a routine that you did over a period of time. So if I say I used to play basketball when I was a child, right, that means that probably I play 2-3 times per week during a period of X years. All right, so it's not just something that you did once or twice. It's something that you did during a period of time, right? And so another example that we have here, I used to live in Spain. Right now, this isn't a routine, right, but it still has this concept of something that you did over a period of time. All right, so I used to live in Spain. Okay, imagine that I lived in Spain for 2 years. All right, it's not just something that you did very quickly and then it was over. So we can use this concept of used to plus an infinitive to speak about a past routine or a period of time. All right, like these two examples we have here. I used to play basketball. I used to live in Spain. All right, now we can also use this in questions. All right, so did you used to play basketball? Right now, pay attention to this because one thing that I see a lot of people do incorrectly, right? A lot of people make this mistake that they think that used to, all right, is always used in the same format all the time. However, used to, okay, in this context is in the past, okay, and that's why it has this D at the end of the word. All right, when we put it into a sentence, however, right, now we conjugate the auxiliary verb. All right, so when we use questions in negative sentences, we have this auxiliary verb, as you already know. All right, so we have the auxiliary verb, which is conjugated, and then did you used to play basketball? The used to here is unconjugated. All right, so we use this without the D at the end. Right, and here I see a lot of people make mistakes because they have this concept, this idea that used to always has a D, and that's not necessarily true. So, did you used to play basketball? So, if I ask you this question, you have two answers. Right? Well, two possible answers. One, yes, I used to play basketball, or no, I didn't used to play basketball. All right, and as you can see here, just like the question, we have use without the D. All right, and just like the question, it's because we have this auxiliary verb here. All right, so that's just something that you should be careful with. All right, when we use questions or negative sentences, since we have the auxiliary verb, use is unconjugated. All right, with no D. So this is the concept that probably all of you are already aware of anyway. All right, so let's get into the other one, which is a little more complex. So here, used to with the verb to be, used to, and the gerund, or a noun. All right, let's take a look at some examples. So, I am used to waking up early. All right, the same structure as we have in this box, okay? The verb to be, used to, and the gerund. Okay, this is a phrasal verb, but it's in the form of gerund, ing. So, I'm used to waking up early. What does this mean exactly? Right, if we say this, then what we're saying is that you are accustomed, or I am accustomed to waking up early. So, why use it? All right, I mean, if used to in this sentence is the exact same thing as accustomed, right? I could say I am accustomed to waking up early, then why use it? Well, essentially because colloquially we use used to all the time. At least where I'm from, we very, very rarely use accustomed, right? It's much, much more typical to use used to. So, Spaniards, you use accustomed in Spanish all the time. It's a direct translation, and it's it means the exact same thing. You could put that in this sentence with no problem, and everybody would understand you. All right, so can you use it? Absolutely. If you want, you can just say, I'm accustomed to waking up early, and everybody will understand you. But colloquially, it's not something that we use very frequently. All right, so even if you don't use this used to, it's important that you know it because it's something that's very common. Now, imagine I'm used to waking up early. Okay, right now I'm used to it, right? But when I started, maybe I started a job 2 months ago, and before then I wasn't used to waking up early at all. Okay, so when we're speaking about this concept of accustomed or used to, right? There's a transition phase between when you're not used to and when you are used to. All right, and so in between, right, point A and point B, there's kind of a transition phase where you have to get used to. Okay, so we have this other concept as well, which is get used to. Okay, so I am getting used to waking up early. All right, the difference between this sentence and this one here is that in the second sentence, I'm getting used to waking up early, you're actually speaking about the process of becoming accustomed. Okay, so you're not fully accustomed yet. You're not very comfortable with the situation yet. All right, but you're in the process. So this is something we use frequently because when we speak about these transition periods in our lives, right, we're speaking about this. All right, your routine changes, and you have to get used to it quickly. All right, today maybe you don't have a job, tomorrow maybe you do, or maybe you change jobs and the routine's completely different, and you have to get used to your new coworkers. Okay, a noun. Or maybe you have to get used to your coworkers, or you have to get used to your schedule, or you have to get used to a gerund, waking up early, or you have to get used to commuting by train. Okay, so there are lots of different things that you have to get used to in this transition period. So it's something that we use very frequently. Now, as you can see here, we're using the present continuous. Okay, I am getting used to, right? And here we're using just simply the present simple. Okay, I am used to. So as I mentioned before, this first used to is only to speak about the past. However, here, this second structure, we can actually use to refer to any tense in the English language. So we can use it to speak about the past, the present, or the future. All right, and it doesn't matter. All you have to do is conjugate it correctly. So imagine that right now I'm not used to getting up early. All right, but I start a new job tomorrow. So I will get used to waking up early very soon, I hope, because I'm starting tomorrow. So we can use this to speak about now, the past, the future, etc. And finally, we're going to take a look at a question as well. All right, so are you used to the German culture? All right, here we have an example on the board of a noun. Okay, the other ones I gave you were gerunds, but this is a noun. So are you used to the German culture? All right, a simple example, I think you probably understand it already. We're just asking if you're accustomed to the German culture, right? Imagine that your friend moved to Germany 2 months ago and you speak to them on the phone and you ask them this simple question: are you used to the culture yet? Maybe he or she responds and says, no, it's so different. I'm getting used to it, but I'm still not very comfortable. Okay, so this is the way that we would use these. So I hope that helps to clarify the difference between the two different types of used to. right? Since they sound similar, a lot of people confuse them sometimes in conversation. All right, so if we have the verb to be and used to and a gerund, all right, it's a very, very different concept than used to plus an infinitive. So if you are speaking with somebody, pay close attention to how they phrase their sentence when they're using this word. All right, so I hope that helps, and I hope that you're able to find time to continue improving your English at home, and that you've had a chance to check out some of the other videos. So be happy, be healthy, and I hope to see you in the next session. So take care.